In week 2, we learned about inheritance and polymorphism. The topics that were covered were basically superclasses and subclasses, and also polymorphism, which is a way to use those subclasses and superclasses. I felt like what was really difficult in these topics of subclasses and superclasses was that, again, in the beginning, I didn't really understand what subclass or superclasses and subclasses were. At first, it was confusing thinking about how superclasses were basically the parent of these subclasses, but as you get into practice it and you start coding and practice it, it gets a little bit more easier trying to understand these things. I first started watching videos, like I said, from last week, since I felt like videos were more helpful. This week when I was watching videos, it was somewhat helpful. I didn't feel like I learned as much because I think one of the things that really set videos into something that's really good for you to learn is to throw yourself in first and actually fail or be frustrated for a couple of days before you even start trying to look at these different videos about the different topics that you want to learn about. So my plan last week was to just watch videos first and then start doing practice it and then do my Revel assignments. And so this week when I did start doing that, I feel like watching the videos, it didn't really pull me in because I didn't really understand what was happening still, even when I was watching the videos. So this week, I feel like I should throw myself into practice it first. Try to understand what practice it is trying to get me to do first. And while I'm struggling for like an hour or two, I could later on watch videos on the certain topic and it'd be less stressful on me, or it'd be less difficult because I would kind of understand what was happening inside the topic because I threw myself in and I just try to understand what superclasses and subclasses were, for example. So I would just go in and try to understand it first, on my point of view, read the book a little bit too. I feel like if I do read the book a little bit too and try to get like big points inside the book about what exactly the superclasses and subclasses were, it would be a lot easier. So maybe I should go into practice it, look at the question and try to understand the question first. Then I'll go into Revel and I'll try to read the book and see if I could find any main points about what the question is talking about. And after I find the main points about what the question is talking about, I'll watch videos on it as well. And I think that will be a good way for me to learn the topics next week. What I enjoyed this week though is polymorphism. That one was really hard. The assignment that was given to us this week was really hard on polymorphism. I'm kind of relieved that it's due next week, but even though I finished it, but polymorphism was easy if you watch the video on polymorphism that you posted up. I felt like once I watched that video, the way that the person was explaining how to do polymorphism by having this super class and then having this other class, and there's 3 methods. You write 3 methods as like on the left side, method 1, method 2, method 3, and then the names of the certain classes. And then you just write, oh, method 1 of this class has this, method 2 of this class has this, and then method 3 of this class has this, and then it just all connects together. And then when you look at that diagram, it helps so much with practice. It really does. But other than that, I feel like this week was a better week for me. Hopefully next week with the group project go well, because I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I've already connected with my partner, so we'll see what happens. Thanks again for all the content, and hopefully next week I'll have a better week. Thank you.